It just keeps getting worse for Florida's trial lawyers who admit they produced a racist print piece in a failed effort to win election. And how does state government work to let the sunshine in the new pinning and texting technology? All of that on Power Play this week with our guests, Shannon Colavecchio of the St. Petersburg Times and Josh Haffenbrack of the South Florida Sun-Sentinel. Okay, John Thrasher wins the Senate seat handily to succeed the late Jim King and is battered by a failed campaign by the trial lawyers, and now we learn they put out a racist piece. Are they toast or what?
They are not in a good position right now.
How diplomatic of you. Aren't they actually dead? They have no agenda that could breathe life in this capital?
The leadership, currently in leadership position, is angry at them. The leadership to be is angry with them. They wanted Thrasher, obviously, all along, and they didn't like that he had a challenger. And now you've got, black lawmakers who, rightfully so, are very angry at this mailer.
And Josh, we're in an era in which a Republican-controlled legislature has kind of enjoyed reducing, lawsuit freedom in Florida and cracking down on trial lawyers' ability to make big fees. How's that going to get any better now?
That's right, and their one foothold in the legislature has been the Senate. They enjoy almost no influence in the House, but they've been able to push their agenda largely by thwarting the things that they really dislike in the Senate. Now that's severely imperiled.
Scott Carruthers, really good guy. He's been the head of the Trial Lawyers statewide professional organization for years. And what an embarrassment that he has to publicly apologize for this. But does it ring true where he says that their leaders didn't know about this?
I don't know if it matters that it rings true. I think the people that are angry are too angry. And, you had people like Bill McCollum saying, you guys are supposed to be attorneys. There's a certain sort of ethical, personal, ethical, professional responsibility you're supposed to follow, and they weren't following it.
So is it the classic case where someone's head will roll at the Trial Lawyers Association and then we're past it?
I don't know if we're past it, but you'd have to think that there's a good possibility that someone's head will roll. And also, it's even doubly embarrassing for them that trial lawyers were a major supporter of Barack Obama, our first black president, and here they are circulating a racist mailer.
Okay, Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be trial lawyers, at least in the near future, perhaps in Florida. All right, we've got new technology where pinning and texting is the social rage, a cultural change, but when it comes to state officials doing it with lobbyists, lawyers, with utilities or whatever, huge controversy in Florida.
It's a huge controversy, and all you have to do is watch a session of the Florida House, and they're all down there on their BlackBerries, and they're pinning and texting. And the real crux of this debate is that these should be public records.
And the founding fathers and mothers of Florida's Constitution did not envision this kind of technology when the Sunshine Laws were put in. So what's going to happen?
Well, I mean, Barbara Peterson of the First Amendment Foundation would argue that it doesn't matter what form the record is in. If it is a communication between elected officials or, state officials about a state matter, it is a public record. So,
well, Josh, we've got all sorts of statewide elected folks running for statewide offices next year. The Attorney General, the Governor running for higher offices. They've taken different approaches to dealing with this in their own jurisdictions. How?
Right, and I think everyone's trying to avoid an embarrassment. I mean, you don't want a newspaper or someone else revealing that your staffers have been conducting state business out of the public eye. And often, if you're sending a pin or a text, it might be more colloquial or less formal than an email on a state address. So it may be more damaging.
But the governor is shutting it down for state business to run no risk of a controversy. The AG wants it all recorded.
Correct. Those are two very different approaches. But, they are also have shown themselves to be two very different politicians.
Well, maybe someday we'll pin and text this whole program, but right now...
I just sent you a pin.
Well, thank you very much. We'll go to your respective power plays of the week. Josh.
I'm going to go with Representative Galvano, who chairs the House Committee on Seminole Gambling. He, along with Senate President Jeff Atwater a few weeks ago, are sort of wrestling control of the Seminole gambling issue, which the governor released a few weeks ago, a revised compact, a $6.8 billion potentially compact with the tribe. But the legislature is saying, whoa, we're going to take a go-slow approach, we're going to review this, and there's not going to be the quick approval that the governor was hoping for.
Okay. Shannon.
I'm going to go with the attempted power play by J.C. Planas, Representative Planas in the House from Miami. He had filed a complaint saying that Creedle, House Speaker Creedle was out of his, that he had, broken the rules by restructuring all these committees and eliminating certain councils. And Galvano essentially ruled yesterday that no, that's actually not true.
Don't bite the hand that feeds your leadership.
That's
right?
exactly right.
Shannon Colavecchio, Josh Haffenbrack, thank you very much. For the latest political news, go to the Safety Review, and we'll see you next time on Power Report.